Hello lovely students, welcome back to my YouTube channel Galip's English School. In today's video, I'm going to talk about Trinity College GESE Grade 3 A2 exam. What is this exam and who is it for? I'm going to make it simple for you to understand the whole procedure and pass it in the first attempt. So before I start, I would like you to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon down below for all the updates. Let's straight jump into that. So here we go guys, what is the Trinity College London GESE A2 Grade 3 test of English and who is it for? If we talk about exam pattern, it is a 5 to 7 minutes speaking and listening test and you can take it at an approved Trinity CELT center. So what is this test for? This test is used to evidence your English language proficiency level when you apply for family partner, spouse, or family parent visa extension after 2.5 years. It depends which route you are coming from or which category you are applying for. But if you are applying for a visa extension, further leave to remain, or leave to remain, you will be doing this test. For more information, please contact your solicitor and get their advice. In today's session, we're going to be looking at part number 4. I've broken down this test in small parts so you can better understand that. Today's session is all about part number 4 and question answer session. So whatever question you are asked in the exam center, we're going to be covering them today. These are the most important questions and you should answer in full sentence. So examiner would start your test with the introduction and greetings. So examiner may say, hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever the time of your test is. My name is Galib, I'm your assessor or examiner. What's your name? You can say, my name is this. Examiner may ask you, what is your date of birth? These are the questions, just sample material for practice only, you can expect, yes? In the exam, the question may be slightly different, but we would try to cover all the aspects, so take it easy, just make some notes so that you can get your revision done and pass in the first attempt. When is your birthday? When examiner asks you the question about your birthday, just tell them the date and the month. Do not give them full date of birth. But when they ask you what is your date of birth, then you can give them date, month and year, all three. So let me give you an example. If they ask you, when is your birthday? You can say, my birthday is on 23rd March. If they ask you, what is your date of birth? You can say, my date of birth is 23rd March 2001. What date is today? Maybe sometimes they can ask you this question just to check your understanding. You can say, today is 12 July, today is 15 March, today is 1st of February, today is 3rd of March or 3rd of January, something like that. Then examiner may ask you questions about festive season, about different festivals. They can ask you about Christmas, they can ask you about Easter time. So when is the Christmas day? You can say it is on 25th December. When is Boxing Day? It is 26th December or it is on 26th December. In either case, that is correct. Examiner may ask you about New Year Eve. When is the New Year's Eve? So Eve is the short word for evening. You can talk about that. New Year's Eve is on 31st of December. Then examiner sometimes asks you a question about the days. Yesterday, today, tomorrow. So you should be able to differentiate between them. If they ask you what day is today, if your test is on Monday, you can say today is Monday. If they ask you what day was yesterday, yesterday was Sunday. I had a great weekend. I enjoyed with my family. And if they ask you what day is tomorrow, you can say tomorrow is Tuesday. I have a dentist appointment. I'm going to take my husband with me because I cannot speak very good English. Remember guys, this is sample material for practice purpose only. You can expect slightly different question. So today we're going to go to part number 4 and we will see what can we learn about that. So the session main focus is on question answers. So in this part, examiner would talk to you about your accommodation and ask you some question about that. What does accommodation mean? Accommodation means your residence, where you live. So let's talk about your accommodation. Examiner would start like that. So let's have a look. If you look at the screen now, I have some question answers. There are some sentences, but I've given you 2 pictures. On the left hand side, there is a house picture. On the right hand side, there is a block of flats. These are most important questions, so please make some notes and answer in full sentences when you go to the test. So examiner may start like this. Do you live in a house or a flat? You can say, I live in a house. How big is your house? In other words, means how many bedrooms are there? You can say it's a 4-bedroom house. It's a 2-bedroom house. How many other rooms are there? You can say there are 2 rooms. For example, 1 living room, 1 dining room, and a kitchen, and a bath, and there is a garden also. If you live in a flat, you can also talk about garden if you live downstairs on ground floor, right? If you talk about your 4-bedroom house, you can say downstairs we have these rooms, upstairs we have 4-bedroom and a bath or a bathroom. If you talk about a flat, or if you live in a flat, you can say, I live in a flat. How big is your flat? It's 2-bedroom flat. It's 1-bedroom flat. It's 3-bedroom flat. And how many other rooms are there? Other rooms means, is there is a separate dining room, separate kitchen, or is there any bathroom, 2 bathrooms, 3 bathrooms? How many bathrooms are there? So you can talk about that. Then they may ask you some more question. If you look at the screen now, they may ask you some question about this. Can you tell me about your bedroom flooring? So what sort of flooring you have in your house? Do you have carpet, or you have wood floor, or you have tiles, or you have vinyl? So different floorings we have. So you can say in my bedrooms, I have carpet. Then examiner may ask you, what about your living room? You can tell in my living room, I have wood flooring, or I have vinyl. Or if you have carpet, you can talk about that. I have carpet floor in my house, upstairs and downstairs throughout, apart from bathroom and kitchen. Examiner may ask you about your kitchen. What sort of flooring you have in your kitchen? You can say, I have tiles. I have vinyl. And if you have wood, you can say, I have wood flooring in my kitchen also. How big is your kitchen? It's a small size kitchen. It's a massive kitchen. It's a medium size kitchen. Things like that. You can talk about your flat, house, wherever you live. This is very important. You should be aware of your surrounding. Then other question examiner may ask you is that, for example, when you go into your kitchen and you open kitchen window, what can you see outside? Now here, basically, they try to understand, or they are trying to get this information out of you, that whether you understand it or not. You can say, when I go in my kitchen and open the window, I can see my garden, I can see my neighbor's garden and other houses. And then examiner may ask you something like this. Can you see any shops around there? So you can say, no, there are no shops. There are only gardens. But if you live in a corner house and there happens to be some shop, you can talk about that. You can say, yeah, there are some shops because I live in a corner house and I share my garden with other side and there is a shop, or there are some shops, or there is a supermarket near my house. It depends. You better know about your accommodation. If you live in a flat and your flat is on 5th floor, 6th floor, you can talk about that I live in a flat and I live on 5th floor and it's a 4-bedroom flat or 3-bedroom flat and I live with my family, things like that. Now I'm going to tell you that to pass this test, what is the criteria? So if you look at the screen now, how are you assessed? In simple words, how are you going to get your result, pass or fail? Your performance is assessed on 4 levels. A is distinction. This shows excellent performance. B is merit. This shows good performance. It also means that you can perform well. C is pass. This shows satisfactory performance, that you are able to communicate as a basic level. But if you get D, that is unfortunately fail. It shows unsatisfactory performance. It means you are unable to answer the questions which you have been asked. So examiners not going to give you good result, they will fail you. So remember guys, if you're watching this video, I've broken it down into small parts so you can individually prepare different parts, make some notes when you're watching and prepare yourself so you go and pass in first attempt. So to pass the test, you should be able to communicate with the examiner at a basic level, exchange your greetings, for example, hello, hi, good morning, good afternoon, hello sir, how are you? I'm good, thanks, what about you? These kind of things. And understanding of simple instructions and give short answers to simple questions. So this was all about your Trinity College GSE A2 test of English. Good luck. So guys, this was all about Trinity College GSE Grade 3 A2 exam. If you have any question, please drop them in the comment section below and I would get back to you. Look after yourself and this channel. Thanks for watching.